I think the Detroit Lions maybe, just maybe, found a replacement for Marcus Davenport. And if not for Davenport, at least for James Houston, who was really bad in our last game before we had a bye week this past weekend. The Detroit Lions have announced that they are signing 2 potential Sam linebackers to the squad. I'll let you see it right here. 2 potential Sam linebackers to the practice squad. Now, these are more actually going to be edge defenders when you look at what they've done in the NFL so fast. And they come by 2 different names. The first one is Al-Quadin Muhammad. I'll talk to you a little bit about him. And then later in the video, we're going to get to the guy who I'm actually more excited about, and that is Cam Gill. So this is something that I am very excited about with Cam Gill, and as excited as you can be with a week 5 signing in the regular season. Like, let's put some, water on this fire for just a second, because it's not like anything's going to be that nuts. But at the same time, we do want to know about it just a little bit. So first off, let's talk about Muhammad. Okay, so Muhammad was a guy that has an overlap. In 2017, he was drafted by the Saints. He was there with both Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn. They were all there at the same time. So this is a familiar face, somebody who knows what's going on and what that looks like in the system. I'll let you see his stats here. He's 29 years old. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. And I also want you to be able to see what I love, which is the RAS score. This, again, is not the full indicator of how good a player is going to be, but it can give you some idea of the potential that is in there. And with him, the RAS is not that good. It's just not that good. He doesn't have great size. He doesn't have great quickness. He doesn't have great speed. He doesn't have great arm length. His arm length actually isn't bad. But like all of those types of things, they don't check a ton of boxes. He's just a guy that I think can be there, maybe play a little bit of a role in special teams and stuff like that. That's how he's going to earn his way onto this roster. That's what I see from it. But the other guy, I am much more excited about. He is much more raw. He is by the name of Cam Gill. He comes out of Wagner, the Seahawks, the mighty Seahawks of Wagner, the fighting Seahawks. I don't know what they are. I don't know if that's really what they say, the mighty Seahawks, the fighting Seahawks. I don't know. But here's what I do know. He's 6'3", 240 pounds. He has played very limited snaps for Tampa Bay. At the beginning of this year, he was signed by the Carolina Panthers, or at least in the offseason. He was doing well in the preseason. In fact, his last preseason game, I think he had 2 tackles and a sack, but he left with an ankle injury and then later received an injury settlement, and was waived by the team. So, what kind of an athlete are we looking at, and why am I excited about this guy? First off, if the Panthers don't think he's good, that means he's probably good. Second, I go and I look at his relative athletic score, and I look at some film. If you go back to his film at Wagner, it's grainy, it's old, and he looks very not fluid. Rigid, I guess would be the word. When you look at his film in the NFL with the Panthers in the preseason, all of a sudden he gets that fluidity. And I think that's what happens when you go from a place like Wagner where, yeah, probably not the best coaching, probably not the best weight program, probably not the best flexibility training, right? And things like that. It's not going to be good. But then you spend 4 years in the NFL, in the offseason workout programs, in the in-season workout programs, and you're able to transform your body into something much, much better. So if you look at this relative athletic score, remember, this is how athletic they are compared to all the players playing that position. He grades very highly. He can flat out fly at a 4.58 from that position. Again, he's officially listed as a linebacker, and yep, we can see some Sam linebacker, and I'm kind of like a Derek Barnes type of thing, but he is most effective on the edge. That's what he always has been. He has great speed. He has a good jump, broad and vertical. His weight is on the lighter side. That's the thing. Again, more like Barnes. And if you see here, hits a 9.31. If you input the short shuttle and 3-cone that he got coming out of college, it drops all the way to 7.5. because he was not good in those drills. However, when you put the film on, and film don't lie, right? Film doesn't lie. I mean, sometimes I guess it can, but he completely changes his ability to bend, to explode, and to get off blocks. His handwork is so much better. So much better. Honestly, you know what I thought of? I thought of Giovanni Manu when I put the film on, because it's like the stuff where it's just like, what is going on here? Like, this isn't even, is this real football? Like, it's like D2 stuff, you know? And so Canadian, but it wasn't Wagner. That's not what I'm saying it is. But this is the guy I'm excited about. So what is his path to this roster, and why could it be important as a replacement for Marcus Davenport? I just want to give you a quick show of who our edge rushers are right now. All right? These are all the people that have played the edge for us based on what PFF says. Obviously, Aidan Hutchinson right now is the best edge rusher in the game of football, right? But we need someone the opposite side of him for him to be as his max effectiveness. So far, it was Marcus Davenport early on, and even though he didn't play great, right, it still was enough to give enough attention so that Hutchinson had some freedom. Since he's left, it's been Josh Paschal that has gone to the outside, but we've also used Levi Onwuzurike. In fact, I will tell you, we've also gone into the interior defenders, and we've used guys on the edge, like I said, Levi Onwuzurike, and even Mekhi Wingo a little bit. And I think like Levi has been great, especially on the interior, but he's not the answer long-term to help get Hutch away from consistent, constant double teams. That's not the answer. And I'm not saying Cam Gill is either, but hopefully Cam Gill can come in here. He can make this practice squad, maybe get on the roster through good special teams play, because James Houston has shown that that's not something he's very good at doing. And then he can get in pass rushing situations and actually make some waves. I think he might have the ability to do it, especially if you're running a stunt on that side. He has great straight line speed. So he's a perfect edge rusher to run a stunt with. Run it with Levi Onwuzurike. Run it with Aleem McNeil. Run it with Wingo, where you have two guys that are legitimately good pass rushers that can both get to the quarterback, so one of them is going to get a one-on-one, or one of them is going to be completely forgotten about. These are the kind of things that you want to do. I'm not saying he makes a big, big difference, but I think if most of you are honest, none of us thought that Marcus Davenport was going to make a huge difference either. Not because he wasn't talented. We just all thought he was going to be hurt. I know I talked about how Marcus Davenport is a good and talented football player. Like how he is what we need in order to take the next step defensively for Hutch. The question was, would he be healthy? Now we have the answer. He's not. It's unfortunate, but we need to find something opposite, and we need to find it quick. I think this is a good stopgap, and then maybe during the trade deadline, the Lions work a little something. I don't know. That's not for certain, but they have a ton of cap space, and they left that very specifically. They left a ton of cap space. It makes me wonder if they did that because they realized this is a playoff caliber team, and if there's a clear weakness on this team, they might spend some money going and getting that at the trade deadline. These are all speculation, of course, but that's what we do. All right. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. We want to be the #1 Detroit Lions community on YouTube, and we hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.